Now, this buttonhole foot is one that comes with many of the machines nowadays, and it looks like a weird contraption, but it's so handy. It has a section in the back that you push open and you pop your button into the back and then bring it forward again. And the buttonhole that you stitch will fit that button perfectly, because that gap there is the same as that gap there. And that's the size of the buttonhole, because the buttonhole's got to be slightly longer than the button, of course. You attach it exactly the same way as you would a normal foot, so it clips on with a metal bar, but it also has some other little features on that, but I'm going to get to those later. The next buttonhole foot I'm going to look at is for manual buttonholes. So this foot here has markings on the side. If you use a foot like this, then you will have to mark the buttonhole length on your fabric. Firstly, you would measure your button and you add 1/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters, to make the buttonhole the right length. And you'd mark the bottom and the top, and that's where you sew from one to the other. But let's go with the foot that comes with most of these machines, and it's so much fun to use and so easy to use. So firstly, pop it on. Now, most of the machines that have this foot will also have a little lever on the side, which you pull down, and you see as you've pulled it down, it's butted up against the front protrudence on the left, and as you sew the buttonhole, it will then hit the back protrudence, so it'll stop and come forward again. Nifty, isn't it? So let's put the fabric under. Now, again, a lot of machines will have lots of choices of buttonholes, but I tend to use sort of the bulk standard square end buttonhole for most things. The reason you have different ones is you have rounded ones for softer fabrics, you have a knitted one for jersey fabrics, a keyhole one with a bobbly end, that is for your coats and woolens. But it doesn't really matter which one you use, you can choose the one that you like the best. I'm just going to hold that thread tail just to start me off. Put the lever down so the needle is ready to go, and off I go. Now I'm actually just going to trim that thread tail so it doesn't get caught up. You can actually take the thread through to the bottom first, but I'm just doing this for speed. So the first thing it did is go from the front to the back. Always test your buttonhole on a spare sample of fabric with the same amount of interfacing. Always interface buttonholes because it's the concentrated stitching. But you want to test to make sure you know where it's going to go, which way, which direction. Most go from the front to the back, but sometimes they go the other way. So when you're done, on this machine it beeps at me, tells me I'm done, I'm finished, so I can take it out. And that is my perfect buttonhole to fit my button. Now, if I wanted to make another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, it would make them the same size again and again and again. Unlike the very first dress that I made that had buttonholes all the way up the sides and across the top, by the time I'd gone up, along and down, they'd increased in length quite a lot. So this is a perfect way to get it right every single time.